You think it's love, you think it's intimacy, you think it's real. Turns out it's lust. Ladies, if you're watching, I know this is a big challenge for you, but men, it's a problem for you as well. You see, the devil will always present you the false version of something true, right? So the thing that you think is real, which is love, intimacy, a deep, relationship and connection, is actually just lust. Right? And I know it sounds like no, it doesn't mean that love is not real. It just means the way it's been presented to you was not real. What was presented to you wasn't actually real love. And so now every time you see it, you get confused. And so here's another example of this that you might be familiar with. Approval is perverted credibility. What do I mean by that? Desiring to be a credible person is a good thing. Needing the approval of others is not. And so there was a time in my life where I couldn't differentiate the credibility and the approval. And so I wanted credibility in the things that I was doing, but I also wanted to be approved by other people. And so once I started to recognize that there was a need for approval within me, I let go of the need of approval. I also let go of the need of credibility. This took me a long time to recognize, but I'm blessed to have mentors and coaches that are in my life that can give me perspectives, whether it be through the words they say or the example they show. So I have a mentor who makes $200,000 to $300,000 a month. He also just bought a McLaren Arturo. Here's the thing, this is a guy who, if you see him from the outside, you may not know him like I know him. But this is a guy who's not a car guy. This is a guy who does not seek approval from others. And so the purchase of the car was a little awkward to see because I know who the guy is. And I know that he doesn't need the approval of the people around him. And then it clicked. He purchased the car because he's aware of the power of credibility. Not that he needs your or my approval, but he's aware, unfortunately, because the way the world is, that credibility allows his message to reach more people. And so if this is a guy who doesn't need the approval of others and he cares about teaching people about values and principles and wanting to make an impact on people's lives and helping people develop as husbands, as wives, and so forth, and he just so happens to drive a McLaren, more people pay attention and they can receive a message of good values and principles. You see, in this example, this individual has earned credibility without seeking the approval of others. You see, the perverted version of this is thinking that you need a McLaren to be whole as a human being, and that if you don't have a nice car or if you don't have a nice home, that you're empty and you're less than and you're not capable. And that is all driven from a place of insecurity. You see, those who are insecure run after approval. Those who are secure don't run after approval. However, they do understand the value of credibility. And so here's a question I have for you on this Monday. What is one thing in your life that you're running after? Here's how you can determine the answer, by the way. If you deep down believe you need this thing in order to be full, that means you're operating out of lack. If you want this thing because you know it'll help you make an impact within your life or the lives around you, that's when you know it's coming from a place of security. So if you're chasing that degree to prove to others that you're worthy of validation, maybe you're not really trying to prove it to them. Maybe you're trying to prove it to you. But if you see that degree as a key or a gateway to making a bigger impact and serving more people, that right there is a very healthy place to operate from.